Good morning, everyone. Great to be back again on the second morning of CDMO Live. Delighted this morning to be joined by Azra Gholami, consultant CMC at Venn Life Science. A very warm welcome.
Thank you very much.
Tell us a bit about you and your role to start with.
I'm Azra Gholami. I have a degree in PharmD and PhD in molecular biology. It's been 3 years that I'm working with Venn Life as a CMC consultant. In total, it's been 12 years that I'm working for different pharmaceutical companies.
Okay, thank you. And tell us a bit about why you've come to CDMO Live, and also tell us about a highlight of the event so far for you.
I found it very interesting, the events, because here I have the opportunity to contact with a lot of CDMO that they are working in a different field.
Yeah.
And I have here the opportunity to know a lot of CDMO around the world, that it can be helpful for me, for my job, since I'm actively involved in CDMO selection and introduction to my client for their product manufacturing.
Okay, great. And what have you enjoyed most about CDMO Live so far?
It's very well organized, and you have access to a lot of CDMO companies that you can discuss with them personally, and you can see what are their specialized. And one of the things that I liked, it was from previous to start the meeting, we had the full agenda, and based on our specialty and our interest, we could choose with which CDMO we can connect it and discuss.
Great. Well, I'm delighted to hear that the show's been going well for you so far.
That's perfect. That's really well organized and nice.
Great to hear. Now, let's talk a bit about your role, about the industry. Supply chain uncertainty is a major concern at the moment. There's a lot going on in the world. What strategies are you using to navigate those challenges?
Yeah, for the supply chain, it's very important that you have all. This is very important because it can have a very impact on your project. It can cause a delay, a big delay in your project. That's why from the beginning we check, we are sure that we choose a right CDMO, that they have a good supply chain, and we don't and then we ask them where they choose their product, if the raw material, and we ask them to indeed not go for one vendor, but to have a different vendor in their sense.
Okay.
Also, what we would like from our CDMOs is to have a stock, a buffer that they have, if it is possible, to have a small stock of the API, excipient, or product that they need, always in the store.
Okay.
To be
so
sure
you have some capacity.
Yes.
Okay. One of the key themes that we see at CDMO Live is really about partnerships. Strong partnerships between a sponsor and the CDMO is such a key topic. From your perspective, can you share any tips on how these partnerships are formed and how the two sides work very well together?
This is very important, because especially when you are working with an international company, it's possible that you work with a completely a CDMO that is in the other country with different kind of work culture. The most important is that you try to be aligned together, understand each other, and be indeed honest.
Yeah.
And then you can go with the honesty and clarity, you can go very well together.
So a straightforward, honest approach, not always easy, but it's important.
It's important, very important.
Yeah.
Being clear about the policies.
Yeah, from both sides,
yeah,
right?
and align to the regulation and policies, know the policies of each other very well.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, what about the biggest mistake that people make in outsourcing? We spend a lot of time talking about the things that we all intend to do well, etc., but mistakes happen. What do you What type of mistakes do you see, and what would you change about how the industry approaches it?
I think the biggest mistakes is just choosing a partnership based on the cost.
Yeah.
Of course, the cost is very important, but always the quality and safety comes first, and you should choose based on the to see that how is the quality, how is the safety, and how is going the communication between two partners. Yeah. And based on those, choose your partner. Yeah. Of course, cost comes later.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And always a factor, but if you ignore the other points you've mentioned, it can become very costly, for sure. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Tell us a bit, Azra, about your. I hope that you've learned and taken away a lot from CDMO Live. But what would you say is the most valuable insight that you're taking away from the event?
Can we stop it here?
Yeah.
I wanted to think because I forget about it.
Yes, okay. It's been very good to date, but it's all good. Yeah? Very, very good conversation, yeah.
Communication fully aligned. Okay.
Yeah?
Okay. Transparency. Strategic alignment and transparency is the key for the partnership. Okay,
let's go. So I'll answer that one again, yeah? So, what would you say is the single most valuable insight that you're going to take away from CDMO Live 2025?
I think the most valuable insight that I have is that strategic alignment and transparency between partner, the sponsorship and CDMO is very important. And we should emphasize on that.
Okay, so you've talked about obviously that the partnership being important, don't just focus on cost, but also have real alignment on the strategy and what you're trying to reach.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, very good advice, thank you. Final question, Azra. What's one prediction that you would have for the future of pharmaceutical manufacturing?
I believe the pharmaceutical manufacturing become more and more clever. Yep. It will be more automated and AI-driven, and AI and digitalization is coming. It's not future, I think, is happening right now in the CDMO, and is become more and more clear and observable.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's a real period of change and evolution, and it's very, very important that I think all parties stay ahead of that. So thank you. Azra, it's been a real pleasure. I'm really pleased that you've enjoyed CDMO Live. I hope you enjoy the rest of the event. We hope to see you again next year. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for the organizing and inviting me for the podcast.
Pleasure.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.